I'm live. Welcome, everybody, to the Blue Bamboo. Thanks for coming here. It's nice to see. You're all so much more attractive than I remember you being. And that was good already. I'm really thrilled tonight to be here, of course, and also to be here with my friend Tony Macaluso. Welcome, Tony. Are we streaming already? Yes, sir. Hi out there in YouTube land. I don't know which camera I'm on, but you're on all of them. You guys know I love playing at the Bamboo, and it just really couldn't be. I can't express enough how much I've missed it and how much I've missed being here with you. So I hope that tonight is fun, and we're going to share some of our emotions and our health. No one is close to me tonight, so I'll try not to asphyxiate myself while I'm singing. We're going to do a first set, and I have noticed in isolation how there are some things that I hope don't change when we get back into being able to be with each other, like reading people's emotions from their eyes. No smile or frown, and you can somehow or another it's more intense from the eyes. I've also learned a lot about the way I see things and understand what's going on around me. So that's been a positive thing, and I hope I can continue to do that. But as usual, tonight I want to sing several songs about love. Now, normally I do that, as if you've seen me before, you know that. But tonight we're gonna take a little different path there. We're gonna talk about some love that you hope for, some love that's promised or that you're afraid to lose, some that's ending, and perhaps some that's already over. But before that, science is real. Science is real, from the Big Bang to DNA. Science is real, from evolution to the Milky Way. I like those stories about angels, unicorns, and elves. Now I like those stories as much as anybody else. But when I'm seeking knowledge, even simple or abstract, the facts are with science. The facts are with science. Science is real. Science is real. Science is real. Science is real. From anatomy to geology, science is real. From astrophysics to biology, scientific theory isn't just a hunch or guess, more like a question that's been put through a lot of tests. When one theory emerges consistent with the facts, the proof is with science. The proof is with science. Science is real. Science is real. Science is real. Science is real. Yay. Thank you. It's odd to hear applause after doing the other shows where no one was here. Got a vibe so hot, you're really, really turning me on. I'm swimming in your parking lot, I'm singing in a lamp on your lawn. And every day without you's just a waste of time. You're the first thing on my mind when I wake up. You're the last thing that I think of when I go to sleep. I'm throwing you my love, so pick it up. And you can have me anytime you want. You could have me really anytime you want. You could have me anytime you want. Yeah, you could have me really anytime you want. I want you now. Want you right now. I want you right now. I want you right now. I wanna hook you up. Girl, I'm gonna set you on fire. I wanna turn your volume up and listen to you all day long. Now every other station's just a memory. I tuned you in and then tore off the dial. Ain't it funny how you keep on running into me? I've been listening to your music for a while. And you could have me anytime you want. You could have me really anytime you want. You could have me anytime you want. Yeah, you could have me really anytime you want. I want you now. Want you right now. Want you right now. Want you right now. When somebody loves you, it's no good unless he loves you all the way. Happy to be near you when you need someone to cheer you all the way. Taller than the tallest tree is. That's how it's got to feel. Deeper than the deep blue sea is. That's how deep it goes if it's real. When somebody needs you, it's no good unless he needs you all the way. Through the good or lean years, for all the in-between years, come what may. Who knows where the road will lead us? Only a fool would say. But if you'll let me love you, it's for sure I'm gonna love Thank you. A childhood friend and very influential guitar player wrote this next one when he was about 23. And I was glad to find out that I wasn't the only person that felt this way. What if you went out with him and then he took you home? Would you submit to his advances or reject him 'cause you're nice? I suspect you would take him to your room and give him what you gave me last night under the moon. It drives me crazy when I know they're not alone. It gets so crazy when they don't answer the phone. What if there was someone else who came along and took you far away with lots of money and good drugs and a convertible? I imagine you'd leave me here to die and beg me for forgiveness while you tighten my tie. It gets so crazy when I know they're not alone. It gets so crazy when I don't answer the phone. Look what it's done to my world. Look what it's done to my world. Look what it's done to my, look what it's done to my world. What if there was no one on the planet except for us? Wouldn't life be so much easier? There'd be no one else around. You'd be begging for me every night. I don't beg, but that's all right. At least I'm honest. I wanna keep her on the shelf. Don't pull no punches. Don't want her out with no one else. Ain't got no monkey hanging over my back. It just gets so funky to think she's never coming back. Look what she's done to my world. Look what she's done to my world. Look what she's done to my, look what she's done to my world. Thank you, and thanks, David Ezel. Pardon me? That's right. And quick tuning here, sorry. Looks like my battery's dying. And we'll be there in just a second. I hope everybody out there is staying not just healthy and happy, but healthy, but also happy. I'll make sense in everything I say eventually. For now, we'll do the best we can. I've maintained pretty much happiness, and part of that is like running into you folks in the grocery store or maybe at the next pump in the gas station and realizing you're still there. So I'll be glad when this is over. I know we all will. Want these arms to hold you, if you don't want these lips to kiss you, if you found somebody new put me back in the crowd, put the sun behind the clouds, put me back in the crowd. There's a battle going on between the blue and the gray, and if you don't want my love, don't make me stay. There's a battle going on between the blue and the gray, and if you don't want my love, don't make me stay. Take back your name, take back these wings, take my picture from the frame, put me back in the crowd, put the sun behind the cloud, put me back in the crowd, put me back in the crowd, put the sun behind the cloud, put me back in the crowd. Thank you.
Feeling good, Jack?
I'm feeling okay, Tony.
Good.
No one's coughing.
No.
We're all good here. I love this audience, both of them.
I do too.
Every time it rains, I sit at home and wonder why. Ever since you said goodbye, I feel so all alone. Every time it rains, and summer showers soak the ground, watch the rain come pouring down, and I call out your name. Every time it rains, I hang my head and want to die. I don't seem to care that I'm just not making it on my own. Every time it rains, sometimes late at night, I close my eyes and pretend that you're here with me. But every time it rains, I realize just how lonely my life is gonna be. Every time it rains, every time I hear the raindrops fall, I might say I don't mind at all. do. Every time it rains, every time I try to tell myself, in time I'll find somebody else, but it won't be you. Every time it rains, every time it rains. Thank you.
All right. Well, see you in a little bit.
Tony, we'll see you on the other side.
Indeed. I'm taking my beer with me.
Thank you. Thank you. Melody Cortez named that one for me. It's Gypsy Lullaby. Thank you. And now I have the pleasure of introducing my friend Madeline Potts for our first story of the night.
Madeline is vocal. She can make an astonishing number of sounds, as dogs go. She yips, she squeals, she barks, she growls, she grunts, she even coos. And over time, I've come to recognize the meaning of those sounds, like the high-pitched squeak she makes when she really has to go very badly. But sometimes Maybelline's ability to communicate with me can get a little contentious. Like I can be at my computer working on a story, and I'm typing away furiously so that I don't lose my thoughts. And Maybelline will come over and she'll want to go out and she'll start making the sounds that tell me she wants to go out. And I'll say to her, please, Maybelline, please give me a moment. But she'll continue, please, Maybelline, please. And she'll still continue. And over time, she learned the word please and threw it right back at me. Oh, to be sure, it didn't come out quite right in the beginning. It was like an explosive little puh sound followed by a long squeal of an E. But I understood what she meant, and she knew I understood what she meant. And she was so pleased with herself. She started picking up words. Before long, I stopped counting how many words she had. And I will admit, I was complicit in her education. I was so proud of her. I fed her sounds. I fed her words like they were bones. I rewarded her with little bits of imported brie for good usage. And I was so proud of her. The problem began innocuously. I put a little post on Facebook. I thought people would enjoy seeing how my dog could speak in English. It went viral. Half the dog owners in the country started teaching their dogs how to speak, or trying to. The other half claimed their dogs could already talk, which of course they could, but in dog talk. Not in English language like my little Maybelline. And then, of course, there was a backlash. Unfair, species discrimination, cried the owners of typically very quiet breeds like Borzoi and Basenji and Scottish deerhounds. And then Oprah jumped into the fray. She did a whole segment on dog vocalizations. The American Kennel Society issued a statement that unusual canine vocalizations could be an indication of mixed breeding. And breeders took issue with that. They said, no, unusual vocalizations were the product of teaching and environment, and just like that ancient debate of nature versus nurture was on, amplified by 77 million dog owners across the United States alone. And then it happened. Someone created a hashtag, Maybelline for President. I saw it. I laughed. But folks took it seriously, and they liked the idea. Oh, no more smooth-talking politicians. No more upper-class privilege. No more clandestine backroom deals. They wanted a president they could trust. And let's face it, who could you trust more than a dog? Well, as Election Day drew close, cat lovers began to voice their concerns. Dogs, they said, were not appropriate for the presidency. They were too dependent on human friendship. And let's face it, they'll do anything for food. No, the answer was not a dog for president. The answer was a cat. I mean, cats are articulate, cats are intelligent, cats are loyal, and cats are impartial. And so the whole constitutional question of an animal for president dissolved into an issue between cat lovers and dog breeders across the whole United States. Election day drew close. Dog owners by the drove came out to testify about the transparency of canine nature. Celebrities came and posted videos of their intelligent dogs. What could be better than a dog for president? A dog whose only bones were buried in the yard, not in the closet. But then the whole constitutionality issue became an issue in itself. In an op-ed penned to the New York Post, a Republican senator said that only people, actual human beings, were the intended recipients of constitutional rights, not animals, not dogs. Well, religious groups posted their own reply with a quote from Psalm 36. You care for people and animals alike, O Lord. The situation was out of hand. It was getting so bad. I was turning off my radio and my television so Madeline wouldn't hear about it and get her feelings hurt by the things people were saying. And I knew I had started this situation. It was up to me to remedy it. So I made an appointment with my attorney to find out what my legal responsibility was. That didn't help. So I made an appointment with my spiritual advisor to find out what my moral obligation was, and that didn't help any either. But you know what? It didn't really matter, because deep down inside, I already knew what I had to do. I just needed to own it. I had de-dogged my dog. It was time to re-dog her. So I started going on YouTube. I started paying attention to videos of dogs. I listened to how they barked. I imitated their sounds. I noted the environments and the particular situations in which they were making those sounds. One time, Madeline walked in while I was doing that. She looked at me and well, she got a kind of compassionate attitude. I think she thought I was a little bit confused. But I continued practicing my dog sounds. And when I had enough sounds, I felt confident to implement the plan that I had made. The only question was how and when. As it turned out, I needn't have worried about that. The answer came that very afternoon. I was outside in my yard while Madeline was attending to her toilette, when a stray dog wandered up our driveway and right into the yard. A low growl seemed to emanate from the depths of Madeline's tiny body. It got louder and louder as it came up her body until it exploded out of her mouth in a ferocious growl. Oh my goodness, it startled all three of us, me, Madeline, and the little stray dog, who hightailed it back down the driveway and up the street. Madeline ran over to the edge of the driveway and woofed 3 times just for good measure. And I was about to pat her and tell her she was a good girl when I realized this was my opportunity. So I made that little gurgling sound of approval that mother dogs make when they're teaching their little puppies. Madeline was surprised, but she understood what I meant. And from that point on, I only talked to her in dog talk. I barked, I woofed, I growled, I yipped, I yapped, I even squealed. It took a while. But eventually, Madeline started dropping her human vocabulary. And before long, she was remembering her dog sounds. And I am very happy to report to you that at this point, Maybelline's rehabilitation is complete. She only talks in dog talk. And I am very careful to never tell her to speak.
And this was something he wrote as a child that I heard earlier and just always loved it. So I get to do it tonight for the first time. Lover, come inside. Try to see what I'm seeing. Sometimes it's hard for me to be what I'm being. I must say it now, for it slips away. You know I can't say it any other way. It's hard when you know you ain't got much to show for all the time you spend not giving in. What I'm searching for lies behind an open door, but somehow something just won't let me in. My pockets make no sound, ain't nothing jingling around, no coins or keys or leaves, just my needs. And a couple of guitar picks ain't taught me no new tricks, and a note that says for me to call my mother. Now mama, listen to me, you can't know what I'm knowing. Have a little more faith in me. There's nothing to be showing. Yes, I'm back down to 130. And it's true, these hands don't get dirty. Just some ink marks on my fingers where the lines put up a fight, and some new calluses from playing guitar on Saturday night. But when you're leaning forward, still trying not to fall, that don't leave your mind much room to stand at all. So I'm loving every lover over and over again, just trying to make my way across this land. I'm just following the lines upon my hand. Lover, come inside. Try to see what I'm seeing. Sometimes it's hard for me to be what I'm being. I must say it now, for I fade away. I could never say it any other way. Thank you. Another big influence when I was a kid was Bob Dylan, and right now I'm longing for that, for the next protest song to come along that's as universal and eternal as some of those that Bob did in my childhood. But I realize that there's a folk song army out there somewhere, and my friend Tom Lehrer back in the 60s wrote a comedy song about that folk song army, which I'd like to think I'm a part of, so I'm not too insulted by this. Then we're going to follow it with one of Dylan's songs that really speaks to me not only as a protest song but as a relationship song. We are the folk song army. Every one of us cares. We all hate poverty, war, and injustice, just like the rest of you squares. There are innocuous folk songs, but we regard them with scorn. Why, they have no social conscience. They don't even care if Jimmy cracked corn. But if you feel dissatisfaction, strum your frustrations away. Some people may prefer action, but give me a folk song any old day. The tune don't have to be clever, and it don't matter if you put a couple of extra syllables into a line. It sounds more ethnic if it ain't good English, and it don't even got a rhyme. Rhyme. Remember that war against Franco? It's the kind where each of us belongs. Though he may have won all the battles, we had all the good songs. So join in the folk song army. Guitars are the weapons we bring to fight against poverty, war, and injustice. Ready, aim, sing. Thank you. I really am waiting on the next eternal folk song. So you guys get out there and gals and send me one. John Brown went off to war, fight on a foreign shore. His mama sure was proud of him. He stood straight and tall in his uniform and all. His mama's face broke all out in a grin. Oh, son, you look so fine. I'm glad you're a son of mine. Make me proud to know you hold a gun. Do what the captain says. Lots of medals you will get, and we'll put them on the wall when you come home. Old train pulled out, and John's mom began to shout, telling everyone in the neighborhood, that's my son that's about to go. He's a soldier now, you know. She made well sure her neighbors understood. She got a letter once in a while, and her face broke into a smile as she showed them to the people from next door. And she bragged about her son with his uniform and gun, these things you call a good old-fashioned war. Then a letter finally came, said go down and meet the train. Your sons are coming home from the war. The letters had ceased to come. For a long time they had not come. They ceased about 10 months or more. So she smiled and went right down. She went everywhere around, but she could not see her soldier son in sight. But as all the people passed, she saw her son at last. When she did, she could hardly believe her eyes. Oh, his face was all shot up, his hand was all blown off, and he wore a metal brace around his waist. He whispered kind of slow in a voice she did not know. She couldn't even recognize his face. Oh, tell me, my darling son, pray tell me what they done. How is it that you've come to be this way? He tried his best to talk, but his mouth could hardly move, and the mother had to turn her face away. Don't you remember, Ma, when I went off to war? You thought it was the best thing I could do. I was on the battleground, you were home and acting proud. You weren't there standing in my shoes. And I thought when I was there, God, what am I doing here? I'm trying to kill somebody or die trying. But the thing that scared me most, when my enemy came close, and I saw that his face looked just like mine. And I couldn't help but think through the thunder rolling and stink that I was just a puppet in a play. And through the roar and smoke, the string it finally broke, and a cannonball blew my eyes away. As he turned away to walk, his ma was still in shock. At sea in the metal brace helped him stand. As he turned to go, he called his mother close, and he dropped his medals down into her hand. Thank you. I have always been happy about the fact that I'm getting older. And no time any less or more than now. That's right. So we've got a little song about that. You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older, and now you're even older, and now you're even older. You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older, and now you're older still. Time is marching on, and time is still marching on. This day will come to an end, and now it's even sooner, and now it's even sooner, and now it's even sooner. This day will soon come to an end, and it's even sooner, and now it's sooner still. And now we get another story from the inimitable Madeline Potts.
Every now and then something runs short. It just happens. A drought happens, a crop fails, or maybe something becomes so insanely popular that the demand immediately exceeds the supply. Now, I'm a resourceful person, and I consider myself an adaptable person. I don't mind eclectic changes. I kind of enjoy them. But I never in a million years ever thought that in the United States of America, we would have a shortage of toilet paper. I mean, how could that be? That was a third world thing. That couldn't happen here. You know, I was skeptical when I heard the news. Nah, I don't believe that. But then that very afternoon, I was taking my dog for a walk, and halfway down my block, one of my neighbors had put a big clear plastic bag on their lamppost. It was filled with individually wrapped rolls of toilet paper, and there was a sign, "Need one? Take one." I thought that was the nicest, most neighborly thing anyone on my block had ever done. I thought, this is a movement I can get behind. And so I ran back to my house. I grabbed 2 of my precious rolls. I went back and deposited them in the bag, and I felt so good about that. Well, I guess everybody had the same idea on my street. That bag filled up to the brim, and I don't think a single roll was ever taken. This must be a scam, I thought. But then came the day that I had to go to the store. I had been hunkering down in my house because of the pandemic and getting all my groceries delivered. So I wasn't really personally touched by what was happening out there. But on this day, I had to pick up a prescription. So I donned my mask and went to Publix. Well, I was so surprised. I mean, of course, everyone was masked. That was to be expected. But the aisles had one-way markers. And there were plexiglass shields in front of the cashiers to protect them. And not only that, there were 6-foot spacers on their checkout lines. Oh, COVID consciousness, COVID conscientiousness had come to Publix. But the biggest surprise was when I went down the paper goods aisle. First of all, the shelves were very depleted. But the most depleted area of all was where they displayed the toilet paper. The brands were all gone. Oh, to be sure, there was still some left, some very inefficient one-ply. So I went home and I did what every good woman does in a tough situation. I went shopping on Amazon. A lot of brands were sold out there too. Some were on back order. Can you imagine that? Back order. What are you supposed to do with back order? Hold it until you get a delivery date? But then I saw an ad for 10 rolls of toilet paper available for immediate delivery, and even though it was many times more what I had ever paid for toilet paper, I clicked on Buy It Now and waited for the delivery. Well, it didn't come that day. Didn't come the next day. Didn't come the day after that. And about 4 days after that, I finally got a notice from the manufacturer. It was an email apology. Due to a shortage of supplies, my shipment was delayed and there was no ETA. Well, as I said, I'm adaptable. I would find a way to deal with this situation. You know, I thought about, well, maybe I could go to Publix every morning and buy the allotted 2 rolls daily. Or maybe I could go out to eat every now and then and use the restroom and stuff my purse with purloined paper. But my conscience got in the way and I abandoned those plans. It turned out, though, that the situation had an unforeseen impact on my life. I began to reconsider my diet, for example, and I stopped eating certain foods that might contribute to excess usage. And I was conscious about what I pulled off of that roll of toilet paper. No more willy-nilly grabbing a strip and bunching it up just to execute a tiny dab. No, I was frugal. I counted inches. That actually worked well for me because I have a little tendency toward OCD. I was undeterred. And after a few weeks, though, this whole shortage became the new normal, the status quo. Maybe ecologically speaking, that's a good thing, but I still have anxiety over the issue. The good news is that I'm more aware of my habits now, and there is a righteousness in using less. And as it goes, one thing leads to another, and that thing leads to another. And so I've reviewed a lot of my habits. I ask myself, what if I couldn't get this? Or what if that was unavailable? And the scenarios that play out in my mind, well, you know, they're not so bad. And so I am happy to tell you that the long and short of going short is that short is more than enough.
We're back? Madeline always amazes me. I'm glad that we're doing these songs and stories. I wish she could be here with us live tonight, but we'll get there. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I lose my head when I'm with you. I know you have somebody too. You always will be true. I can't stop thinking about you. So easy for you to inspire. I hear you sing and I'm on fire. I say the things that I admire. I'm not immune to your desire. Can't stop thinking about you. see you coming, and I wait. I hear you calling, and I hesitate, because I know that it is true. I'd break the rules to be beside you. I'd give my life to make us two. Not really what I want to do. Can't stop thinking about you. And then I wake up in a cold sweat and hear you softly breathe. It's warm and cozy in our bed, no reason to deceive. And I shake off the madness from the sleeping world, and I remember you're a very special girl. Your body's warmer than the sun, a playground meant for lots of fun. When you're around, I come undone. Lasers always set on stun. I can't stop thinking about you. You laugh and make me look away. I love this painful kind of play. I couldn't do this every day. Prostration does get in the way. Can't stop thinking about you. I smell the ocean in the moonlight. I justify that it'd be all right. Never ending is this night. My mind is spinning out in flight. Can't stop thinking about you. I taste your dark chocolate eyes. I feel your song as we arrive. Your sheets are warm and disappear as you are blocking both my ears. I want to scream that I love you and thank you for the things you do. I'm glad there won't be any tears. We can meet this way for years. Honey, I'm tired. How about you? Good night. And good night to all of you out there. Thanks for joining us tonight at the Blue Bamboo. Thanks for having us. Chris, thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Jack.
And Madeline. I love you all. Stay healthy.
Slap on some makeup, 10 minutes until the show.